You know, I love when I click the live button, I get one like. It makes me feel like I'm really doing something.
Meet Marcus. Meet Marcus. You may know him from the Untitled Manny and Marcus Show and the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. You may know he spent the majority of last summer living in his car, and now he's lost all his money in Vegas. Help Marcus by donating to the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast or going to storefrontier.com/DSPN and buying some of our merch. Help today before it's too late.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. And I'm Eric.
And I'm Marcus, the Grand Finale.
And you may notice something. This is the first time there's been a two-man booth because Lord Manny is currently he's on assignment right now, Marcus. He is on assignment. He's doing great research for the cause as he's going to be enjoying a couple of pints and watching England take on Ukraine at noon our time. Marcus, we wish Lord Manny the best in his celebrations. We did receive a message from him this morning stating that he was already a half a pint in. I tried to get the audio sent in, but it would not come over. However, we wish him well, and I will hit this because I know it is a party for him going on right now. Marcus,
woo, it's a celebration.
How are you doing right now, sir?
I'm doing fine. You know, I'm ready to go. Never been more ready in my life to do a show today. I am pumped up. Very old school edition of the show. We haven't did a show with just the two of us, you and I, in a long time. Eric.
I know. Is this like the Untitled Eric and Marcus show right now, or is that copywritten? Can we not?
That's copywritten, man.
That's
Don't you ever do that again. Don't you ever do it. Don't you ever, what between me and Manny is sacred. Not even copywritten and patent. It is sacred.
I just want to point out that I'm the one that came up with the Untitled name because it was the Untitled. But you know what? I digress. I'm not going to sit here and try to toot my own horn. Oh, Manny, Marcus, he's not too drunk. He is still here, people. Manny is not too drunk. I don't know why he's not too
here.
drunk.
I'm alive. Has the game started, and what do you think? Who do you think the outcome of England and Ukraine is going to be?
Marcus, I have to support our co-host. I hope England pulls out. I mean, I watched the game against Germany, and they defeated Germany. I think Manny told me, I thought it was 1977. He told me it was 1966. It's been a long time since England has beat Germany. So you know what? They got that momentum. Hopefully they can win the European Cup. I mean, go ahead.
Well, you know I am Petty Mayonnaise. And so I don't know if I can allow Manny, or Prince Manish, as he likes to be known as, to win. Because my team, the Los Angeles Clippers, did not win. And I need someone else to feel the exact same pain I felt on this show. You had already been eliminated in NBA and everything else and any other team you like. So it doesn't affect you anymore. I need England to lose. And I know that's petty, it's sad, but the misery needs to be together. We're more united if we're miserable together.
You know, Marcus, I will say that you are correct. I understand the disappointment, the regret,
trials and tribulations,
the everything that you feel that really caused a lot of strife into your life and stuff of that nature. I mean, I will point out that Marcus and I, we got to go and spend time as brothers, experiencing, the game. And honestly, it was a great experience. And even this happened where I squeezed into this tight Clipper shirt that Marcus can see on the screen right now, where Marcus has one of the great expressions of the night, because this was at the very beginning of the game where things were working out. But at the same time, if Marcus, when you wake up, someone on Facebook has tagged us in the video of the fight that broke out that was only about 20 feet away from us in the other section. and Marcus, they whooped that bald-headed dude ass up. I still don't know what that fight was about, but it happened.
What do you mean you don't know what it's about? This is LA and we lost. What do you
Marcus,
mean? We don't take losing well.
I understand that, but
we never took losing well.
But he wasn't.
He was a boastful, arrogant, penis-like man who got beat up for boasting about his team winning the cup. Okay, winning the Western Conference Final Championship. And talking probably a lot of mess about how Chris Paul deserved it. And this has been a long time coming. Not since the days of Charles Barkley have we been this good. Fuck it all. Fuck it all. Fuck that light-skinned Devin Booker. Fuck that old man Ayton. Fuck Chris Paul. And fuck Jay Crowder and Cameron Payne. What about Tino Exhale? Fuck him too.
Well, Marcus, you are, as J.K. Swish said, Marcus, in the chat room, I'm going to put it on the screen so you can see it. He says, you should be happy, Marcus. Greatest Clippers season ever. I mean, he is correct in this situation. I mean, you guys went to places you have never been before.
Yeah, but, it's been 2 years of frustrating eliminations. And this league, I blame them for this year's disappointing NBA playoffs due to them. Like LeBron said, they should have never started this early. They should have never started. Look at all the injuries. Everybody went down, from AD to Giannis, or to Giannis to Trae Young, or to Chris Paul getting COVID, and other injuries occurring, and it's just a mess. We lost Kawhi Leonard. Damn it! If we had Kawhi Leonard, we would have been the NBA champions.
Clearly, this is what happens when Lord Manny Hayes is not on the show to keep us directed. This becomes an NBA podcast where we're talking about basketball and our frustrations. So with that being said, let me start off with my frustrations, and I will go into
tribulations.
I'm going to jump into AEW Dynamite, Marcus, and I know anybody who is a fan of our YouTube channel probably heard Manny and yourself discuss AEW Dynamite on the Untitled Manny and Marcus show that is aired mostly on Tuesdays and Thursdays on our YouTube channel. But unfortunately, those people don't have an audio feed to listen to.
Hold on. It sounds like you have a grievance.
What do you mean?
You have a grievance with Dynamite.
I do.
That's what it sounded like. I have no grievances with Dynamite this week.
Well, I'm very Marcus. That's why I want to see because I want to start off and I want to discuss the main event. The main event for me between Sammy Guevara versus MJF. I thought both performers put on a athletic spectacle. However, I took a lot of liberty with a lot of the big moves that they did that did not have any payoff at the end. I was so disappointed that the match ended with collusion or confusion with Shawn Spears bringing his ass down to the ring. Then you have Jericho, and then you have Wardlow, and then it ends with a chair shot. Some of those moves that Guevara hit, some of the moves that MJF hit were great moves, and I wish the match would have ended that way. Did any of the shenanigans of the post-match or how the match ended, did it affect your overall enjoyment of the main event?
Well, if you tuned in to the Thursday, the only edition of the Untitled Manny and Marcus show this week, you would have heard that I thought that it was a great match up until one point, and then I thought the match took a downward turn. But it was a great match nonetheless. It just went south for whatever reason, and that was right after MJF landed the super tombstone on the top rope, and I went, "Oh, that has to be the end. That has to be it. You risked your life to do a move like that, and that's not it. There's a kick out on a tombstone off the top rope." I was upset, and I went, "Okay, whatever. We might still be coming to the end," but then all the shenanigans at the end with the referee being distracted by Wardlow. I don't care. If I'm the referee, I don't give a fuck if Wardlow kills Jericho. I'm refereeing a match.
Even if Wardlow says, "Hey, look at me. Look at me. Look at me."
Fight in the stands that we are witnessing. Just to be like, "Hey, y'all shouldn't be fighting." No. He killed Chris Jericho, so what? Count to 3. Why are you distracted on this? And so there was a lot of stuff that went downhill after that. Just confusion. But other than that, I thought it was a great match. It was close to being my match of the week, but I might still go with the Raw Triple Threat match. Or maybe even Sammy and Kevin.
I mean, we'll get there, but I just think that for me, that match in the main event, yes, it was good, but I think it discredits so many of those big moves that they did. Like you said, Marcus, this was a super pile driver off of the top rope. Why didn't that end the match? Why couldn't we have MJF beat Sammy Guevara without all the interference? I don't understand why that was necessary. Isn't AEW supposed to be the new company where we get did they say actual finishes to the matches where we don't have any of these difference of outside interference?
DQ ripoffs. I think it's the term Tony Khan used himself. DQ ripoffs. You don't get that. And so you get this distraction interference, but it was still a good match. Another issue I had, I brought this up on the show with Manny. It was, if we were to review this match going under our criteria, I have made a new rule that if I see a Canadian Destroyer happen in a match and it is not the finish, you lose the star for in-ring. And that goes for any pile driver that I think should end the match. Also, it goes with a Spanish fly. If you do the same tired ass Spanish fly that happens in every match, I am no longer impressed. I no longer care. I have seen them all, done them all. Except for Austin Theory's Spanish fly, which I think is a great Spanish fly. So but Marcus, everybody else has been doing the same tired moves to get the same, this is awesome chant, and I'm so sick of seeing it. Do something new. MJF did something new, but however, that should have ended the match. I am tired of these wrestlers just doing moves for the sake of moves.
Marcus, now I have a very important question for you. This is a question that only can be asked to you because it is very important. And that question is, I wish I had a graphic for it. How about that dive, Marcus? Who had a better dive this week? Ricochet on Monday Night Raw or Sammy Guevara on MJF? I think they both went into the crowd and I both went, oh shit. Which dive did you enjoy the most, Marcus?
Oh, I got shit. My Mac is running out of battery.
That's what happens when you ask the tough questions about Marcus is in the dark. He's in the dark. At this point, he's in the light.
Stop falling apart.
This is what happens when you wake up 1 minute and 30 seconds before you're supposed to record a podcast because you went to work the night before and you were tired. Marcus, did you now I have a question while you organize this stuff before you answer the dive question. Did you go to work simply so Ryan could have the home to himself for his birthday? Was that why you went to work?
No, worse, I forgot it was his birthday. But I accepted the day. I accepted it 2 weeks in advance. And was like, yeah, all right, whatever. I'll come in. Fuck it, I don't care. And then on the day of, I went, oh shit, it is his birthday. Which also reminds me, I need to also pay rent myself because the first of the month happened.
The first of the month has happened. So, Marcus, now back to the most important question. How about that dive? Which dive did you like?
Well, this isn't my dive of the week. Neither one are my dives of the week.
Okay, what dive of the week is it for you?
Do you really want to know?
I do. I would never ask the question of how about that dive?
NXT top dollar running through that barricade and jumping through it. I thought that was the dive of the week. I thought Big Man had to go through the plexiglass, and Big Man went through the plexiglass like nobody ever. And the shot of Adonis' face as he walks and witness top dollar on the end was my dive of the week. But if I had to choose between the two dives, I'm going with Sammy Guevara's over Ricochet due to the fact that Ricochet had padding and it was off camera when he
Marcus, we have no evidence that took place. We have no evidence. You're making assumptions, Marcus.
WWE has 5 million cameras. Why don't we have the other angle?
Marcus,
but I do not blame them. They're coming to an end of the Thunderdome, damn it. They had to get one more shot of, where we didn't see what happened. They had to kill Dominic Mysterio one more time.
Marcus,
why I call it the Dominic Mysterio moment of the year.
I disagree, Marcus. I have on good authority. I have on good authority from a source close to the situation that not only was there no padding down there, but when Ricochet hit the ground, he was partially electrocuted because he hit one of those damn monitors. Marcus, I'm letting you know.
There was no electrocution.
It was.
There was no electrocution.
It was.
No way. Your sources are wrong. Just as wrong as Meltzer. All right, just as wrong as Dave Meltzer's sources. There was no electrocution. Next thing you know, you're going to say they fell in a pool of electric eels. And they were electrocuted.
Hey, it happens.
That's why John Morris was able to survive that.
So allow me, Marcus, I'm going to do something.
Are you going to miss the off-camera dives that we get in WWE? I know it's the AEW discussion, but whatever. We'll get back to them. But are you going to miss those dives that happen off camera or the power bombs off into the stands?
Can I tell you, Marcus?
They just don't show the landing.
I mean, clearly we're coming to the end of pandemic wrestling. And there were so many things that I enjoyed about pandemic wrestling. Like, I do enjoy the off camera, like, oh my God, what the fuck? Because it made it feel like you were watching more of a TV show or something of that nature, or even the cinematic matches. And I will say that WWE did those type of things far superior than what AEW did, because AEW, although AEW
didn't do those things.
Well, they should have. And I think that WWE did the best that they could in the situation that they were put in. It's going to be very interesting going forward because, we're going back to real crowds, I think, as early as next week. And we're going to see, will the product have a freshness outside of Monday Night Raw, of course, because Monday Night Raw is kind of stale, but we're not even talking about that.
But I think the crowd will elevate Monday Night Raw as well. It's good. I know you hate Raw. I enjoyed Raw this week. Okay? I enjoyed Raw this week.
Raw was watchable this week, Marcus. I made it through it this week. It was okay.
I just felt like, people being harsh on Raw just to be harsh on Raw now. Raw was a solid show this week.
No, Mark, let me tell you, because you know what? Because we're going to do it. Fuck it. We're doing it. We haven't done this in a long time. We're just going to jump to all the shows, and we're just going to hit the spots that I want to talk about as our conversation as brothers normally do on the phone call.
What is this? The Walking Itch episode? Where we just like, oh, yeah.
No, Marcus, this is, we're on the phone talking about wrestling, and we're just going to jump in. It's like a Royal Rumble. You don't know what you're going to get in this situation. So let me talk about my big issue of Monday Night Raw, Marcus. Matt Riddle was amazing.
Match where we ain't following the rules.
Marcus, Matt Riddle was amazing. I thought he was fighting for Randy Orton, getting to that triple threat match. But Marcus, I am so sick and tired of Drew McIntyre. I don't need. It's one of those things where, you know what, man? You have got umpteen chances at this title. I don't need you to be in this Money in the Bank match anymore. Like he bet not win, Marcus. I swear to God, he bet not. He bet not. He bet not.
What's going to happen if he bets win?
Marcus, I don't want to talk about what's going to happen. I'm just going to let you know it ain't going to be good. He bet not win Money in the Bank.
Eric, okay, so when he qualified, I was okay with it. And if he does win Money in the Bank, Eric, I am also sick of Mr. Drew McIntyre and tired of Mr. Drew McIntyre.
Preach,
I think he needs to exit the title picture.
Yes, he does.
I think Drew McIntyre needs to go away
Preach,
for just
brother.
a bit. I'd rather see Drew Gulak win the title before I see Mr. Drew
One
McIntyre
more time, brother.
win the title.
Let me bring it to the top, my brother.
Drew Carey win the WWE title before I'd rather see Drew McIntyre win
Marcus, what about Drew Bledsoe? What about Drew Bledsoe?
The title. I'd rather see Drew Bledsoe get a chance, just to sniff at the draws of somebody that has a WWE title. Okay, I'd rather see Marcus Jones Drew get a chance at the title before I see Drew McIntyre at the title. He needs to stay away from the title whatsoever at all costs. However, there is a however at the end of this, my brother. Let me wipe myself because it's a little preachy in here, and I feel like I'm in church. Old lady, fan me one time.
There we go. Hit the D.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. With all that said, Lord Jesus Christ, as any priest or preacher in the church, I am a hippo in the crate because I want to see him win. You know, money in the bank. For the simple fact, Yes, for the simple fact, Eric, Brother Drew can't challenge Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship. Hence the stipulation in their Hell in a Cell match. It was the last time he could face Bobby Lashley, no matter what. So he could win that briefcase, but he could never cash it in. That would be the greatest story in the history of wrestling. Of him
Marcus,
just being like, you motherfucker.
So
or
you're
him even
me...
cashing it in, and then one of the officials, Adam Pearce or the lady, Sonya Deville, come out there and say, no, Drew, you made a promise, Mr. Frodo, that you cannot challenge for that title anymore. But he can also turn heel by doing it anyway.
As of right now, Marcus, the men Money in the Bank match consists of Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, Matt Riddle, Ricochet, John Morrison, and Big E. Do you think this is the final set, or will one more person be added on Monday, or two more people Monday and Friday on SmackDown?
Was that 8?
No, it's only 6. So I guess 2 more people will be added.
Yeah, so, because, I believe it should be, I think it's 8 that participants, I think. I could be wrong. It might just be 6. Who knows? But there will be other people added, Eric. I so far though, I think this is a good collection of Money in the Bank contestants here, individuals. I like to stand with my favorite. I think of the match will be probably Matt Riddle.
So Marcus, is that the guy? So if you had to rank it 1 to 3, who would you like to see from the people currently in the match? Matt Riddle is your number 1, or is it still Drew McIntyre because you want to see him win it, but he can't cash it in?
As being a hippo in the crate, yeah. I'm for Matt Riddle winning it, and then Randy Orton going, "Give it to me." Just trying to seduce it. Give it to me. You cost me my chance. I can see him. You cost me my chance of winning the Money in the Bank ladder match. You cost me my chance of reaching my goal of 14-time WWE champion. Give me the briefcase, Riddle. I have been your mentor.
Now, let me ask you this question, Marcus. Can I speak on behalf of
Lord? He turns on him and costs him from winning the match, and you get that story going dark place.
Now, can I speak on behalf of the late, great Lord Manny Hayes, who is enjoying a beverage probably right now, Marcus? I'm pretty sure we all know he is a huge supporter of Big E. Do you think this is a great opportunity to actually give Big E an opportunity to maybe wash some of that New Day stank off of him and maybe see him more serious in the situation and become the Money in the Bank winner?
I think of crowd pleasers, if Big E were to win the Money in the Bank in front of a live crowd, it may get the biggest reaction. I think Big E has a good following. People like Big E, and people will support any chance of him becoming the WWE champion. However, I don't think that the person who's winning this Money in the Bank is going to succeed.
All right, Marcus. J.K. Smush asked the question. He said, when does Randy kill Riddle? I would say I think we might get Randy versus Riddle at SummerSlam, so I think it might be shortly thereafter Money in the Bank. But, Marcus, RKO Bro is a very good thing that's going on. So do you want to see Randy kill Riddle?
Eric, I don't want to see Randy kill Riddle. I need him to kill Riddle. I need Randy to be Randy. Let Randy live, all right? Because he's going to kill him over this Money in the Bank thing. And that's the story that they need to tell. It will elevate Riddle to that next level. And yes, he's a comedy act and he's a little goofy. But right now, and I don't say this, I don't just throw this out there. I don't throw this out there like I throw who the best big man in the game or who the worst big man in the game is. I don't just throw it out there. But right now, Riddle might be the most entertaining person in all of wrestling.
Marcus, I'm going to go to a step farther, Marcus. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it with all confidence. I think Matt Riddle might be the best NXT call-up of all time.
Oh, no, that's a hands down.
Yeah, because I don't think anybody has been called up from NXT that has been able to entertain. And let me just point out for the fact, when he was in NXT, I remember it was about a month that I could not stand Matt Riddle. However, he's one of my favorite people because he delivers in the ring.
I'm going to have to disagree with this. I just realized something. I have to disagree with this. He can't be.
Why?
Because that title belongs to the women call-ups. where you have Charlotte Flair, your Bayley, and of course,
Marcus, hold on,
the
Marcus.
legend of Sasha Banks.
Marcus, let me do something real quick. Matt Riddle is the best male call up from NXT of all time. There we go. There it is, fixed. There we go.
Because when you have Becky Lynch actually being the star of your show, you can't deny that she's probably the greatest NXT call up.
It could be. I mean,
it may not start off well for Becky.
She made the most money
roster, but she's probably made the most money, and the man gimmick is probably the most successful gimmick to come, not out of NXT, but of the talents to come from NXT. But Matt Riddle I'm enjoying his matches. I'm enjoying his segments. I'm all in. His story right now, I'm all in on Matt Riddle. And I want to see him succeed and be the face of Raw. Dare I say it. Get out of the way, Drew McIntyre. Move.
Can he put butts in seats? You feel like he can do that?
I think he can.
All right, now Marcus, I want to talk about, because you are wearing a Stun the World shirt, and Kevin Owens is in this match, but I want to jump into SmackDown. He had a brutal last man standing match with Sami Zayn to qualify for the Money in the Bank. I remember last week I complained about the whole stipulation that some people have easier matches than others to make it into this great Money in the Bank match. But Marcus, did this last man standing match on SmackDown deliver what it needed to deliver to you?
I thought it delivered. I thought it was really enjoyable all the way through. You know, and we've seen Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, I'm going to say 101 million times and a half. So, you know, to say that, you know, it's going to be hard for them to do anything that go like, you know, that was solid, but, you know, I've seen better between them. No, this was really good. I thought this was an entertaining last man standing match. I didn't even, you know, there were just, I don't know, I felt like the right person won and everything about it was just, I don't know, all the way through. It had that brutality to it. And honestly, watching the match, I didn't know who was actually going to win by the end of the day. Because I was like, Sammy might pull this out and be KO again. But, you know.
And this is not fair to AEW, but this is what I did when I was watching the match. And I was watching this match, and I, rightfully so.
When have you ever been fair to AEW?
Marcus,
when have you ever been fair to Dynamite?
Marcus, I try to be fair. When they were on Friday, I was trying to be fair. But with that being said, Marcus, let me make my point. Like,
you were always saying the big dog, let the big dog eat on Friday.
Marcus,
that's all you were saying.
So because the big dog wasn't on Friday, that's why AEW, we got to talk about them first. Because, you know, my contract with the big dog is that, hey, he ain't there. So he didn't show up, so I don't have to talk about him first. But I compared.
He was there. His presence was there.
Mark, I compared the last man standing match to the main event on AEW, and the difference that I felt that WWE was able to achieve was that they didn't do too much. Like, they gave me enough spots, and they made the spots mean something. I think that in AEW, the spots that I got, they were impressive looking, they looked amazing, but like you said, it's a super pile driver. You cannot kick out on 2 from a super pile driver. I'm sorry. And it was a super tombstone pile driver. And those type of moments when you see like one of these sick and insane moves and people kick out, it frustrates me. But I understand, is that just the new generation of wrestling going forward, Marcus? Is that what the young people like nowadays? Is that?
I mean, it fits into the movie world, right? When you go to watch a Fast and the Furious movie and Vin Diesel's jumping through a flaming, and I know this may not have happened.
You know, Mark, that's why we lost. That's why you lost. Vin Diesel's in that audience.
Fuck him, motherfucker. Fuck him. But if you could jump through a flaming submarine in space and survive it without any oxygen, it kind of just throws you out. And maybe it is something new generations into just doing that. But me, I'm not ready to go there. I'm not ready to go and watch people do ridiculous excessive moves that should end the match. And, you know, you may say, Marcus, you grew up when the DDT was a finisher and it became watered down throughout the years. I'm not a fan of it being watered down throughout the years. DDT should still be a finisher. I'm an old curmudgeon about that. But at least it's not certain moves. The Tombstone Piledriver is the Undertaker's move. That is, I don't care who does it, who did it, how they did it, when they did it. I don't give a fuck how many times Fit Finley did it. I don't care if I see Vampiro do it. I don't care. That is the Undertaker's move. And it should end the match. That's how I see it. And it was offensive to me that I have never seen a super tombstone power driver in my life. But yet, that was a finish. When Owen Hart did the tombstone and broke Steve Austin's neck, that was also a finish, but for the wrong reason. They shouldn't have did it either.
So, Marcus, with that being said, now, going forward, do you feel that Sammy Guevara, his stock increased going forward? Do you see any potential in him?
Well, there's potential there. I like Sammy, but I'm going to be serious, and maybe I'm just one of those, I like the big guy to be champion, or, one of the old school mentality. Sammy's just too small. He's just too small. Like, I've seen him flex a few times, and I'm like, this guy can't be the champion. Like, I was looking at MJF and going, that guy can be champion, even though it's not the best physique in the world. He's not the biggest in the world, but he does look more wrestler-like than Sammy Guevara. Sammy it seems like there's a limit that I could take when I go like, that guy can kick somebody's ass. You can put on a good match. I'm okay with that, but that guy can't be champion.
But Marcus, you sound like you're a hippo in a crate, because Sammy Guevara does have the same stature as a new champion that got crowned this week, and that was yo boy Swerve Scott. Swerve Scott defeated the Colossus.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Wait, Marcus, hold on.
Wait a minute.
He became the new North American champion. Now, Marcus, him and Sammy Guevara are about the same size.
They're not.
They are, Marcus.
Sammy fits in my hand.
And Isaiah does too.
Swerve is a bit taller. Swerve did not win the heavyweight championship, the main title for that. And he had help from the outside. I'm just saying, hypothetically, you may be right on size. Go to the books. Let's see the research.
You want me to do some research?
I'm going to say Swerve 6'1". 6'1". Sammy Guevara 5'8".
All right, Sammy.
Sound like I'm talking boxing right now, but I believe Swerve could whoop Sammy's ass in a fight.
Well, Marcus, I think you feel like he can beat his ass for the simple reason of one thing. And I don't even want to call it because it's a race. So, Marcus, Sammy Guevara is 5'10" at 185. That's where he's at.
Okay.
So
they're going to list Swerve Scott at 6'3"? I know all these numbers. I'm going to get.
This is Wikipedia, man.
The 2-inch. We're going to 2-inch rule. That he's 5'10". He's
Marcus,
5'8".
Swerve Scott is 6'1". And
he's 5'9".
Huh?
That means he's 5'9". If Sammy is 5'10", I'm gonna say he's 5'8" in reality. And if Swerve is saying he's 6'1", I'm gonna say he about 5'9".
Marcus, I think you don't like the fact that I have made a solid. He's 201, Marcus. He is 201. So they are.
Yeah, he was on 205 and live.
Marcus, they are technically about the same size. It's not much difference, Marcus. There's only one difference, Marcus, and that is that he's part of Hit Row and he's black. So, Mark, I'm not trying.
Is Latino, okay? You're trying to ruin black and brown relations.
No, I'm not, Mark. I'm just trying to say
black and brown relations.
That Marcus, I think that Sammy could work if you put him in the same situation where he has his own coalition that helps him win matches. I'm just saying, like, you want to rule Sammy off like he couldn't do anything. But let me also point out, Marcus, that I don't think Adam Page is that much bigger. And let's not talk about Adam Cole too, Marcus. Adam Cole he's smaller than Sammy Guevara.
But let's not talk about Kofi Kingston then. Let's not talk about Kofi Kingston. How dare you, Brian? I'm just saying, Sammy doesn't look like a champion to me. But those other guys do. I don't know what it is. It may not be height and stature, but Sammy just don't have that. That's the champion right there.
And I'm okay with Mark. He's not ready yet. He looks too much like a kid. I think he has he needs to do some maturing. And maybe, like, if that meant growing some facial hair or something like that, he needs to look like you. He kind of reminds me of Dominic. Like, Dominic, just Dominic is tall, but he's still, he looks like a kid. Okay.
So, Eric, on this channel, many moons ago, probably about a year ago today, we did a special show of Marcus fights the AEW locker room.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
All right. Of those people that you listed, could you whoop? They ask. Let's go with Swerve. Let's go with Kofi. Let's go with Daniel Bryan. All those people. But would you even, or would you run through them like you would run through Sammy? Because you know you're going to say you could whoop Sammy's ass.
Marcus, let me tell you this right now, my brother. I am a peaceful man. And I don't resort to violence unless I am pushed to that point. But Marcus, if these people push me to that point, Marcus, I am confident that all 330 pounds of this colossus of pure milk chocolate would destroy every last one of them without hesitation, Marcus. Because you know when I hawk up, brother, it's all downhill from there. It's like the kid in Hook, just rolling down, knocking people over. That is who I am. God damn it. I'm ready to whoop people's ass. So...
bring it back.
Mark,
don't bring it back.
Mark, with that being said,
your Hook status. Don't get me to go roll through the locker room.
I'm gonna roll through the locker room, Marcus. I'm gonna roll through the locker room, like Limp Bizkit. We rolling. You damn right. So Marcus, just because you gave me some people that I know I need to whip my ass, there was a segment that took place on Dynamite, Marcus, that I liked, but I hated at the same time, which is, you know, the way that it takes place in AEW for me. It was a segment that involved the champion, Kenny Omega with the Triple H beard. And he was on the mic and he was running down who he has defeated and how, you know, there's nobody else left for him to fight. And, you know, he was going to take the day off. Then he was interrupted by the Dark Order, you know, Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, Cole Cabana, and all those other guys. And they decided that they were going to imply that Adam Page is the guy that needs to fight Kenny Omega. The issue that I had about this entire segment, Marcus, is like, why are we implying when we have rankings that says that Adam Page is the next guy that is supposed to fight Kenny Omega? Then, hold on, then we go backstage where Adam Page is like, guys, why did you do this? And it was like, because you know you need to get out your own head. And then I asked myself the question, Adam, if you were afraid of fighting Kenny Omega for the title, why were you trying to move up the ranks in the first place? I just didn't understand the logic in that whole segment. Marcus, are you able to shine a light on that for me?
Yes, Eric, and I have two words for you. And it goes by this. Why would you be the number one in the rankings if you want to go for the title? I don't know. Ask Paul George that. Ask Paul George. So, yes, you may, I don't know where you stand on this. Did you like or dislike this segment?
I liked it because I thought this was the best that Kenny looked as a champion for the first time. I don't know why, but I thought his arrogance, maybe it was the Triple H beard and he actually was dressed. I thought that this was probably the best that he has been.
I agree. I thought this was the best he's been. And I enjoyed the story that Hangman Page might be afraid of Kenny Omega, might be afraid of going for the title, might be afraid of failure. And I enjoyed that story. And it was basically the Dark Order asking the hot chick out for the guy, going like, hey, you want to go out with my homie right here? And he's like, dude, what the fuck? And I like where it's going because it's finally going to Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega. Eric, fuck the rankings. We need to just stop harping on it. I can bitch and moan about their rankings to the end of time, but I believe that they're going to start, because I don't even think they mention them anymore. Random people are getting title shots in all categories, and I don't even think it matters of any kind. So I think this is going to be a good story, and I think it's the last person Kenny can really fight in general and lose to, because the rest of that roster, I don't really see beating them. Everybody else has too much damage behind them. We ain't giving it to Christian. Maybe Andrade.
And Marcus, I think, honestly, for me, really, if they had eliminated the rankings, I think this would be one of the best storylines AEW had going on. Because, Adam Page has doubt about facing Kenny Omega. I mean, it writes itself. But at the same time, he's been fighting to move up these rankings. So it's like they're almost there, but then they're not. But I did enjoy that. I thought that was a solid thing. I mean, like AEW, I did not hate, but it's one of those things where You just have to get ready for AEW style. And Marcus, this is another question I have for you. And I'm sorry I'm going to you to answer everything. So, they let Andrade speak.
You can only go to me. Who you going to go to yourself? I'm going to go to myself.
Well, because I can't go to myself.
I have all the answers today. Manny is dead in the pub somewhere, drunk, celebrate whatever's going on in the England Ukraine game.
Mark, it hasn't started yet. It's 20 minutes away. They just pregame drunk. So, Marcus, I'm so confused about AEW with the way that they're handling Andrade El Idolo. For the simple reason that I think we have established that his English is not the best English out there. Yet, they let Pentagon speak Spanish through a translator. Why can't Andrade just speak Spanish instead of watching me see him suffer trying to get these English words out? I just need Mark, give me the subtitles. Or am I asking too much?
Well, they gave me the subtitles.
But they gave me the subtitles with him speaking English. Please just speak Spanish and give me subtitles.
Let that man live, Eric. The only way to get better at something is practice. All right? Let him speak English, and maybe one day he will get better at it. I don't have a problem with whatever they did this week. I'm just concerned of what Andrade's future is going to be. It's up in the air. He hasn't had a match yet. His first match is going to be next week against
Matt Sydal in the city of Latinos, Marcus, in Miami.
Yes, where he will kill Matt Sydal. I'm sure it's going to be a competitive match or whatnot, and it's probably going to be good. But, I'm curious where he goes as a character and the stories he tells, who he is. Because I think the alignment with him and Vicky Guerrero makes no sense. I'd rather see him by himself or with one of these other managers.
So still staying in Dynamite, Marcus, we had a backstage segment where Christian Cage is giving Jungle Boy a pep talk. And then next thing you know, the Luchasaurus and the little guy shows back up. Marcus, were you disappointed that Luchasaurus didn't tell Christian Cage, I'm back now, bitch. You don't have to talk to him no more? Because that's what I really wanted. But instead...
What added character moment would you have gotten right there?
Well, Marcus, I'm trying to make...
Why would he go, I'm back now, bitch?
Well, Marcus,
where are you going with that storyline?
Marcus, I'm going with the story...
Where do we go next? With him going, I'm back now, bitch. That kills his gimmick.
Marcus,
they friendly Dino the Dinosaur.
Marcus, can I tell you? I've been trying to kill the Luchasaurus gimmick for a long time, Marcus. I need it to be go. I need it to be go.
Him going, I'm back, bitch.
Yeah, and then next thing
it's just something odd, and you go, what? Why would that happen?
Well, Marcus, because we have to admit that the Jurassic Express needs to be disbanded because Jungle Boy can probably move on to so much better things without his dinosaur and his little friend. But Christian giving him this pep talk, like, is Christian going to be dirty? Is Christian going to be good?
No.
I don't need Christian.
The pep talk was only to set up the later aftermath shenanigans. So we get a squash match with Jungle Boy and some dumb guy. I don't remember his name.
Jack Evans, Marcus. It was Jack fucking Evans, Marcus. Jack Evans, man. Don't disrespect Jack Evans that way.
Hey, Jack Evans, they put his record up there. If there was ever a man that needed to be disrespected, it was Jack Evans. He comes out to Angelico's music, and he does half the Angelico's dance. And then he has a record of 16-36. Now 16-37. Disrespect that man. He's going nowhere, and no one respects him anymore. So Jungle Boy beats the shit out of him in record time. And this is only to set up the Matt Hardy Christian feud, which I have a problem with. So I wish that they would just let Jungle Boy get the most wins and get to be the first one to get the 50 wins. Celebrate that and do whatever you have to do with Matt Hardy and Christian at some other time. Not in every match. At the end of every match, you don't need to have some random ass pull apart brawl that need to happen. Because this one had nothing to do with Jungle Boy. This is Jungle Boy getting back on the wagon, bouncing back up by losing to Kenny Omega, elevated him to a bigger, this guy could be a contender. And then this is him getting his bounce back win after losing on Saturday. And, the most 50th win, the first person to get the 50 wins. All of this is going on. And then all of a sudden, Matt Hardy and Christian are fighting in the back or in the ring.
I agree with you.
I understand that transition. They should have did that.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, Marcus. I just felt like the whole momentum that Jungle Boy had made from his match on Saturday against Omega. And then, he's getting the tutelage from Christian Cage, who's the hardest worker, to be pigeonholed into a feud that means absolutely nothing to anybody. Marcus, I'm confident to say, and I'm gonna stand on my
you
sword.
You moved your microphone for this.
I did, Marcus. I need people to hear me. I'm confident to say I don't think that there's any AEW fans that are out there saying, you know what? I am so glad we're doing a Christian Cage, Matt Hardy feud right now, because nobody needs this in professional wrestling. We just don't need it anymore, Marcus. This needs to end like this, the Panama Sunrise, Marcus. Marcus, if I had to pick what to end first, the feud between Matt Hardy and Christian Cage, or to use a Panama Sunrise, or whatever that is called, I'm ending the feud between Matt Hardy and Christian Cage.
No, Eric, no. I can't let the world get it. The Canadian Destroyer should only be done by Petey Williams, God rest his soul as well. And I would go with ending the Canadian Destroyer just as an everyday move. Then just Matt Hardy Christian feud, because at the end of the day, this feud should be happening on NWA. As two old wrestlers who are just doing something just to do it because they still in the game. But it's tired. I don't need to see this in 2021. No one's clamoring for it. No one asked for it. But Eric, I have a secret to why I think you found Dynamite tolerable. Because I know you don't enjoy shit that Dynamite produces, even though I thought this was a solid show.
Well, Marcus, let me just point out, I thought Dynamite started off hot. They gave me a match I did not want to see again, but the point is the Young Bucks are so evil right now. Marcus, first of all, the Elite and their facial hair, I think might be the best thing in wrestling right now. Because their facial...
When did they grow it?
I don't know. But
none
Marcus...
of these fools have facial hair except for Nick, who has changed his look on a daily basis.
Marcus, at the same time that the announcer said they look like porn stars, Shantae said the same thing. Are they going for the porn star look? Marcus, the Young Bucks are the best of the executive vice presidents, and hands down. This match between Kingston and Penta El Zero, I guess it is what I mean. They get a title shot now, but like it's just it wasn't bad,
Eric,
but
that's why I said the rankings don't matter. That's a makeshift team right there that became number one contenders for their title.
I guess.
But, I thought it was a good match. I thought it was a really enjoyable match. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was what it was. And, I was going in it similar to the way I went to NXT and their triple threat match, going with, I've seen some shit like this before. But I was entertained by it. It caught my imagination, I guess. Or it took my attention when I was like, this is more entertaining than what it was.
All right, so let me say that little quick hitters. Miro fighting Brian Pillman Jr. It was a fine match. I just thought Miro kind of got taken to the limit a little too much by Brian Pillman Jr. I don't
feel like he did, Eric. I feel like he was in full control the entire time. He's God's favorite champion, which I think is the best name for a champion ever. Instead of just being a wrestling god, which most people have been, he's God's favorite champion. I mean, and he like to thank Jesus Christ. And his new music, everything about Miro is working. Him just going to the ring and throwing the title at the referee and then snatching it back. It all works. I think he's the best thing going in AEW right now.
I would agree, except he doesn't really
have... And again, Oh, go ahead.
Should his opponent in this situation be the guy with the most wins in AEW, I think he should have a feud with Jungle Boy. I think that is a natural progression. I think it's time to put the title on Jungle Boy. I think it's time to ride the momentum.
I don't want to take it from Miro.
That is also a good point, Marcus.
Miro, as it stands, has increased the legacy of being the TNT Championship, which is the best championship in all of wrestling. Because for some reason, when you get that title, I can't hate you.
So,
I don't know what Marcus, happens, but I hate you before you get that title. But once you get that title, all of a sudden I go, damn.
Marcus,
they the shit now.
Let me tell you something, Mark. You still kind of hated Darby Allin. You might have respected him a little bit more, but it wasn't full love for Darby Allin.
Oh, it was mostly because of Sting.
But Marcus, wouldn't it be better suited? Because you're right. I think Miro as a champion is probably better. Was good for business. Wouldn't it have been far superior instead of having Christian Cage feud with Matt Hardy if we had Christian Cage feud with Miro? Because then you give him an opponent that doesn't need to win, and then Miro gets another champion because of the Lord Jesus Christ.
You want him to fight Christianity?
Yeah, that works for me.
You want God's favorite champion to fight a Christian? No.
I like that.
I don't think Christian would work for the simple fact, maybe down the line, but not right now because you just got Christian. This is their version of Edge in their company, and you don't want to waste it by just like he's gonna lose the Miro. Like I would not put the brakes on Miro for Christian because Christian will win that feud. And I don't want that to happen.
So someone who didn't win a feud on Dynamite was Rebel. She hurt her knee in the tag match with Vicky Guerrero, Nyla Rose, and Britt Baker. I mean, this match took place. Baker got the win. At the end of the day, I don't think anybody was like, you know what, this is the match that we needed to have happen. Am I correct in this situation?
You're 100% correct. And as Betty said, my partner in crime on the Untitled show that happens every now and then, he said, the NWA took all their women back. This is what we're left with. And I agree with him. And I was like, damn, this is true. We're back to the old shitty division. Because this was trash. And I was really upset of all the people in this match. Just like Drew McIntyre, I don't want to see Nyla Rose go for the belt again because she's been going for the belt 8 million times. They have all these women in the back who have had these shines of like, why can't we go the Jade route? Why can't we go Big Swole? Why can't we go Red Velvet? And many point out I named all the black women in AEW, but at one point all three of them had some momentum behind them, in which it seemed like they could go for the gold. But yet we keep going Nyla Rose. We keep going Nyla Rose. Can we just go a different route with this?
Marcus, I don't know, but something that they're going a little bit different is that Team Taz has some dysfunction, and next week in Miami we're going to get Ricky Starks, who is medically cleared, going against Brian Cage. Marcus, is this when the point where Brian Cage gets jumped out of Team Taz and maybe he can go and face Miro now for the TNT title? Because that's also a good title he can go for, Marcus. Miro versus Brian Cage should be a fairly good match, right?
Yeah, it should be a good one. You could build somewhere to there, yeah. And yes, just jump him out. So Brian Cage ain't did shit at Team Taz. Team Taz ain't did shit for Brian Cage. None of this has worked whatsoever, and I don't think he or anybody in Team Taz has won any big matches. They may be undefeated on Dark and won 700 of those matches, but no one's ever seen it. Every time Brian Cage or the Murder Hawk, I know he's not a part of Team Taz, but these guys they brought in, they have never won the big one. They can't do it. So Team Taz needs to disband and just be the Ricky Starks show.
All right, Mark, the last thing I want to ask you is that the faction...
I didn't realize there was more.
Just a faction of Jake Hager, Ortiz, and Santana. Was that a faction that you would fuck with? We're not putting Sammy in there. We're not putting... Let me tell you, Marcus, they look like a bad biker gang in the back of some steps talking shit to another crew. Did you believe in their tough guy talk?
Yeah, I did. Would I fuck with them? No. I get fucked up probably in the worst possible way. I think Hager would just probably beat me up, and Santana Ortiz will stab me or shoot me or beat me with some brick or something. They will beat the shit out of me. Well, whatever in the room, they'll beat the shit out of me. So I would not fuck with the biker game. But I am tired of all this inner circle pinnacle stuff. I am tired of it.
Marcus,
we've been here, done that. We need to end this.
So this is something that is going on. I'm going to SmackDown World, Marcus. I never thought that a crown could rejuvenate an individual as much as it has Shinsuke Nakamura, Marcus. Nakamura is in rare form. He's back to his gyrations and stuff. But, Marcus, I think the better story is how it has depleted Baron Corbin, that he is losing money. His Mercedes-Benz got repossessed. Marcus, for me, and I know this is something that probably won't happen, but Marcus, when I see the down and out Baron Corbin, the first thing that came to my mind is that, Vince, if you care about me, and I know you don't, but I need you to call up Cameron Grimes and let Cameron Grimes give Baron Corbin back on his feet. Give me Baron Corbin and Cameron Grimes together, Marcus, and I would be so happy. If we could do it at NXT, we could do it on SmackDown. Shit, we could take it to Raw. But Marcus, this is the unholy loan that I need to have happen.
Baron's bad investments get his car repossessed on live TV, and for the pettiness of somebody in the back, I'm going to say boogs. Broadcast that on national television. Don't put my business out there. Don't put my business up my car being repossessed. Like, Baron did look disheveled. He's growing his hair out. I was entertained by it. Nakamura being Kingsgate Nakamura It's entertaining. I don't know when they decided that Boogs is going to save the career of both Baron Corbin and Nakamura at the same time and make me care about both of these guys again. It was a good decision.
Marcus,
Can I go back to Dynamite though?
But hold on one second. You know who can't stand Boogs though, Marcus? Michael Cole. Because if I had Pat McAfee jumping on my back when he's coming out doing a Nakamura entrance, I'm gonna kick his ass. But you want to go back to Dynamite? What's going on in Dynamite that you want to talk about, my brother?
Okay, so I'm gonna say I enjoy Dynamite, Eric, and I'm gonna say why I enjoy Dynamite. No Cody, no Nightmare Family, no Brandy. None of that was on there. I accepted Dynamite for what they were, and I thought that helped the show. Marcus, I feel like Cody opens him up to criticism.
Well, Marcus, because he's out there trying to cure racism. But, Marcus, you have to admit, although I didn't care for the lack of selling in the main event was fire. It was a hell of a match. It was one way to close out the show. In so many ways, if this was compared to Friday Night SmackDown, I think that Dynamite this week's episode beat it. Because I didn't have the big dog. I only had the presence of the big dog. And, Edge promo was fine. Look at my eyes. Look at his eyes. That's a bad I quit. And then the show ends with him doing the same thing to Jimmy Uso, who deserves it because Jimmy Uso is a bitch. Because how the hell you went from 1 week where I ain't nobody bitch to now you trying to be the lapdog for Roman because Jay is MIA.
Family. It's about family.
It is about
Don't
family.
Let this destroy the family. Let this destroy the family. That's what happened.
I mean,
Jimmy is stepping up.
I miss Roman not being there and being frustrated. That's what I miss the most.
He can't be frustrated every week, Eric.
He can be.
He can't be.
I could be.
Yeah, we've seen that from time to time again. Of you just being frustrated. Another thing for Dynamite. What is your feelings of Jim Ross saying WWE Dynamite to close the show?
Marcus, I don't know. He owed. It made me laugh. And I was like, okay, why are you still thinking about your ex while you working with your new girl, man? Stop thinking about your ex.
You know what happened. This is what happened. They were talking about, how Daily Place is a home. JR started thinking about his home and how he can never go back. He's been banished. He's been banished for years. And so he started thinking, damn, WWE Dynamite sounded nice. Oh, shit. But, let it happen. People get on JR case for this. Who cares? This shouldn't be that big of a story.
Marcus, are you okay with Bianca and Bayley going at it one more time at Money in the Bank with an I Quit match? I mean, they went from Hell in a Cell to This seems like, isn't this a downgrade from Hell in a Cell to I Quit?
No, because their career's on the line now. This I Quit match, Bayley said she will leave SmackDown and maybe even WWE if Bianca ever get her to say she quit. And she's going to quit. She's going to quit. And we're not going to see Bayley on SmackDown and probably end up on Raw after the draft. She going to quit. And I'm okay with it happening again. One more again.
Isn't that how Bayley keep ending up on every show? She keeps quitting one show then showing up on another one?
No, she's never quit before.
Because, I mean, at the end of the day...
She stayed true. She stayed true. I've never seen Bayley quit.
That might be true. Also,
I've seen Sasha quit.
Why we got don't you do that, man? Don't you speak ill of Sasha right now? You know she coming back.
Quit.
You know she coming back.
Yeah, she's coming back. She gonna be at the Slam.
Hey, speaking of big comebacks, Zelina Vega made her return, and not only made her return, Mark, not only made her return, but made her return and got grandfathered into the women's Money in the Bank match. Made Liv Morgan pissed. Liv Morgan was
went too far.
Really?
She went too far. This is it. One, Carmella gets the pass because she's the most beautiful person in WWE, and she's had matches against the champion at least. Okay? She was infused with Reggie and Sasha. She has credibility. She's had she's a 2-time Money in the Bank winner, and she did it back-to-back nights. I failed to mention that. But let me say this. This is outrageous. Zelina Vega gets to be thrown in this match. Was it in her new contract that she gets put in this? 4 pints in, everybody. 4 pints in. Also, Eric,
Mark, the game hasn't even started yet, Marcus, and he's 4 fucking pints in. Just want to point that out.
That's all right. He got to get one for how many goals that England's going to get, and you times that by 0, and you got an answer.
Oh, Marcus, you going for Ukraine?
I told you I'm a hater. I'm going to congratulate Manny on the show next week if they do it. But right now, my pettiness, my bitterness, my trial, I need other people to share my pain. Okay? I'm an American, damn it. It's 4th of July. I need some shit to blow up. And it's going to be England tonight. And I was going to say, Sonya went too far. Too damn far, but Selena Vega. Selena Vega was a manager for 90% of her WWE existence. She's had one match. I believe she's lost. I believe she's even wrestled in the movies as AJ Lee and lost. She has never won, and therefore she should not just be granted pure access to go into the Money in the Bank ladder match. And Liv Morgan, who beat Carmella next week, and still fight her way in this thin division. In this thin-ass division to be into this match. I will be upset. I will be outraged. And if I'm Liv Morgan, I got to put hands on Sonya Deville. I got to put hands. I may not want that smoke. I don't want to go to that place and unlock the sleeping giant of Sonya Deville. But I might have to if I'm Liv Morgan. I might have to. Because this is some bullshit. And I would claim racism if she wasn't white.
Marcus, I'll tell you this right now, Marcus, and I appreciate the argument that you made, but I honestly didn't care about any of that stuff. Marcus, the first thing that...
How could you not care? How could you not care? Marcus, what's going on Raw where people have to qualify and fight to the death, and Sonya Deville has her own special list, and I'm going to call it her own special hit list on the women she'd like to smash.
Marcus, let me just put it this way. At the first time when I saw Zelina Vega walk out, I said, shit. Does this mean I'm going to get the Aleister Black conclusion to his story? Because that's the only thing I want to see what Mickey did to him, Marcus. I need to get out. I don't care what anybody said. And I know I should be thinking about, oh yeah, Zelina Vega. Who gives a damn? It's about Aleister Black. He wanted to take Mickey out. And I need to know where we was going with that.
I need Money in the Bank to happen. And I know I said Big E winning would be a crowd pleaser. But at the SummerSlam, Big E is going to the ladder and Aleister Black pushes him off. And they go like, where have you, and then the next night or on SmackDown, where have you been, Aleister? Where have you been? Well, the WWE officials suspended me for my actions against Big E. Why are you doing this to Big E? Fuck Big E, that's why. Been saying it for years.
So, Marcus, the women's...
When you said that, he knocked on my door, damn it.
Marcus, the women's Money in the Bank, as we have it now, is Zelina Vega, who justly got entered into there because of Sonya. The Smash List, Marcus. We have Carmella. We have Super Nikki. We have Asuka. We have Naomi. And we have Alexa Bliss. Marcus, of the women I have named, who should win the Money in the Bank?
Liv fucking Morgan.
Really?
Who is not in there? Liv Morgan should win the Money in the Bank. She's not in there. None of those other women, I think, should get it. Alexa Bliss should get it. What's she gonna do? Shoot fireballs? She can't do that no more with a live audience.
Marcus,
she can't use her special effects
I
anymore.
see Alexa Bliss going against Nikki Cross. You gotta have a villain versus a superhero. That's where we're going with this.
They can do that on their own time. You can take that shit to Raw, right? Now she got her special effects. I don't want to hear that noise. I don't need to hear that.
Mark, are you salty that Alexa Bliss took Bray's gimmick? Because at one point you was a big fan of this.
No, I'm not salty. I still think it's a good gimmick. I just don't think what she's doing right now with watching, what's that child name? I know she's 40 years old, but what's that child name? Shayna Baszler lose every week because of this shit, and the original part of this adds anything to this story.
Mark,
it was better when she was in the mid. It was better when she was in the men's division and she was fucking up Randy's life. But then after WrestleMania, I think that's where I soured at it when we had what the fuck moment of the year.
But I think it was the whole thing about the situation with the whole gimmick, even with Bray. It's only so far you can go with this gimmick because at the end of the day, what is your purpose at the end of the day? Do you want to be a champion or do you just want to fuck with people? And just fucking with people is a great business model in WWE. It's just that you have to stay just fucking with people.
Because ask Keith Lee. Why do they keep fucking with me?
So, Marcus, my question is like, at the end, will we have Sheamus? Because Sheamus is hurt, right?
Well, his nose and all that, yeah.
Because I'm upset that he's not in Money in the Bank. But could we be surprised to see Keith Lee in Money in the Bank? I mean, he did post a picture when he first started wrestling overseas where he was in somewhat shape on his Instagram. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on with Keith Lee. He was chosen, Marcus.
He's going to jail. That's where Keith Lee's going. He is going to jail. Keith Levert is going to jail, and Manny is out there doing scientific research as he downs his fourth pint.
Marcus, it's great to be on assignment. But, Marcus, I think it's now time for us to talk about, in my opinion, the best show out of all the shows. Hands down, no debate, no argument, no dispute. NXT this week.
I can argue with you. I can argue with you about that Dynamite.
NXT was better, Marcus. NXT was better. Marcus, how do you get past the opening match with Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez, Shotzi Blackheart, Ember Moon, and Io and Zoe Stark, Marcus? You can't get past that match. That match was fire, Marcus.
I don't understand why this match was so good. I do not understand. I went to this match last week not expecting anything. Going into it going like, it's gonna be a good match. I'm not gonna it's probably gonna start like everything that was gonna go with this went with it. That's gonna start the show. It was gonna be energetic. I was gonna enjoy it, and I was gonna be like, "Oh, the right person won." But watching the match, you go and you go like, "This is exceeding my expectations," and my expectations were already good. I was shocked and appalled at sometimes at how good it is. I hated myself after this. This is like eating ice cream.
Well, because the
first bucket of ice cream going like, this is great.
Can I tell you?
Great. I'm being fat and happy.
Because the first thing I said to myself is that, damn, why is Raquel Gonzalez fighting so hard for this match? But I was like, man, she really liked Dakota Kai. Because I thought the big girl spots that they did in this match was so well. And apparently, Manny gave an update. They have scored already, and I'm assuming the 6th minute of the match. I mean, Marcus, I think you might not have a show to do if they win again, Marcus. So your hate is fueling them to victory. But Marcus, did you feel that Io and Zoe Stark is the right combination to win?
Eric, can I jump in and say you cannot root for England on this weekend? Okay,
not on Independence Day, man. I'm not rooting for anybody, Marcus.
We cannot root for them. We can't root for them. I mean, some people got their freedoms this weekend. Back in 1776, some people got their freedoms. Not everybody, like they claim, but some people got their freedoms this weekend from the Queen of England. But what were you saying?
Are you happy that Io and Zoe Stark won this match?
Yeah, they're the right team to win because they're the team that's going to get their ass beat by Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. And I never thought I'd say that ever in my life. I don't think Candice and Indy should lose those titles. And I think Io and Zoe are the perfect team to lose.
I was listening to, I had briefly turned on to Busted Open Radio, and they had pointed out that the Way are like a team that doesn't really need to have the titles because their gimmick and their characters are so over. And I think I disagree with that because I just don't think I like Io and Zoe Stark as a tag team because I think Zoe Stark is probably the most promising prospect in NXT right now. Whatever it is about her, she has this look and she is a very good performer in the ring. And if it leads to Io versus Zoe, I get it. But Io was a champion for so long. For her to give up her aspirations of being the women's champion to pursue Tag Team Go just doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't.
Go away, Io. Get out of here. Get out of here. I want to yell at Io and just go to Raw SmackDown. You've done all you can do for this division. It's time to let this division grow. It's time to bring out the wrestlers we don't normally see. Io is old news. This is the real Raquel Gonzalez era of the women's division, and Io has no place there. It's time for Io to go. When Vince made his performance center visit, I hope he looked at Io and said, come on, you need to get out of here. You've been here too long. Marcus, and that was the only reason he was down there.
Marcus, NXT did something that I never thought that NXT can do. Know how I talked about how Kenny Omega looked like a good champion for the first time in a long time? Marcus, Karrion Kross came across as the monster that he was, dealing with little annoying ass kids trying to keep fucking with him. This was technically what Keith Lee was doing when people were like, when Johnny Gargano got the jump of him in the car and then he woke up and choked his ass out. I was like, damn. Marcus, Karrion Kross was a bad man on this episode.
He was, but he was still Karrion Kross, the confused man. I don't know what he does for a living. The man with many hobbies.
Yeah, Marcus,
but
today
no goals.
He was dressed to brawl today, Marcus. He was not dressed in his suit. He was dressed to whoop ass.
He was dressed as Vin Diesel's extra in the Fast and the Furious.
It was. That's what it was.
With his car. And Scarlett just being there going like, oh shit, he dead.
You know, the greatest thing.
Back up.
That, Marcus, I love the fact about the whole Scarlett's. And if you look at the scene when he's getting his ass beat, he gets jumped. She's just sitting in the car all comfortable, like she knew shit was going to be okay. And then after he got, I was like, I just don't see that's going to happen because, you know, I wanted to see her reach over and try to hit somebody with a bag or something like that. But maybe Scarlett don't do that type of shit.
When did she get ratchet and start taking out her nails? Not my man jumping on people's back. Because of scene on the Jerry Springer show.
Speaking of nails, Marcus, let's jump back into Dynamite. How did you feel about your boy, why can I not think of his name, Darby Allin, putting his acrylic nails into the eyes of the one half of the men of the year, Ethan Page. And now he can't participate because he's not 100%.
Eric, there's, when you say one half of the man of the year, there's only one man of the year. This Ethan Page. Scorpio Sky brings nothing to this group. Marcus, he brings nothing. Marcus, it's all ego. Ethan
Marcus,
Page.
let me also point out that
matters.
Clearly AEW felt the same way because when they had announced that it was going to be Ethan Page discussing everything, they made no mention that Scorpio Sky. So I expected just to see Ethan Page in the ring by himself. When I saw Scorpio Sky, I was like, you can't make no money with this. That's like the Elite Hunter Kazarian. Like, stop. We don't need this. Yeah,
no, you're not a thing. You're not a thing, Elite Hunter. You're not. You're 40-something. Get out of here. Go hunt something bigger. Stop messing with these little kids. Two people who are used to Sting and Scorpio Sky. Don't need them both in this feud.
Marcus, I want to go back to NXT. So we got the debut of the Diamond Mine. We got a Roderick Strong versus Asher Hale match, Marcus. But you know what? That's not what I was focusing on, Marcus. Tyler Russ, I was focusing on, Marcus, and I feel like, I don't know why, Tyler Russ' hands in his pockets, in his jacket pocket, for me, entertains me because he just pulls them out and then he fist bumps people for no good. Mark, it was so much fist bumping going on with Diamond Mine that I was like, this gimmick is going to fail so bad. So bad.
Prince Manish is giving them 8 weeks. I believe we're on week 2 of this. 8 weeks in, and he's going to turn on them and say this ain't shit. They got one more week with me. Or they have until Suzuki do something. Other than him having his hands folded. Once he unfolds his hands and he does something, that's the make or break member of the Diamond Mine. Because I do not care about Roddy Strong. I do not care about Tyler Russ. Michael Bivens is a great manager, but he is not. He shouldn't be with these guys.
All he did was say, "This is Diamond Mine." He was like, "It's Diamond Mine."
Diamond Mine. Diamond Mine.
And I'm just like you're right, Mark. A lot of it. What's the Asian man name? Suzuki.
Yeah.
A lot rides on him, but from my understanding, he's just some type of trader. But I don't know. But like I said,
his orange folded, man.
But Mark, like I said, hands in the pocket, fist pal. They
just look like light version of Imperium. Like Imperium looked like they had whooped their ass. Walter and his boys, even without the wolf, they whooped his ass. They whooped the Diamond Mine's ass. That Mark ain't shit.
Marcus,
they're a disappointment.
Now, moving on to the most important question for you, Marcus, and this is a very important question that you need to ask and be ready to answer. Cameron Grimes defeated Sterling, but what happened afterwards is that LA Knight came out and he challenged Cameron Grimes to, if you lose, you become my servant. Marcus, do you need Cameron Grimes with all his money to be the servant of LA Knight, or do you think Cameron Grimes will win the $1 Million Man belt, or do you think this storyline might just disappear by the time Tuesday come around where we won't have this match anymore?
Yes. That's not my answer. I just thought it'd be funny if I just went yes after you asked all those questions. Oh, to me, it's the best story in wrestling right now. Don't give a damn about anything else. Big Dog can have what he wanted to do, but to figure out what's going on with this $1 million title, I'm enjoying the douchebaggery. I'm enjoying the debauchery. I'm enjoying the both Eli Drake, LA Knight, and Cameron Grimes in this feud, and I can't wait to see Cameron Grimes as the Butler, the new version for LA Knight. And I feel like that's all we're going to get is basically some Virgil sketches, but with these two. And eventually, I think they're going to team up.
No, I think it's going to be, Kevin Grimes going to be so bad at as a butler. It's just going to be so hilarious. I mean, I think it's going to succeed where Chuck being the butler for Miro did not, but we'll see what happens. So Kyle O'Reilly got the best of Adam Cole in the situation, and Joe walked away. And then finally sent security in. Marcus,
just let that happen.
Mark, is this a feud that it needs to end like Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens, or is it just something that, you know what, we're going to get a good match, let's just keep having it?
I think this is the end of it at the Bash. I think this is the end of Adam Cole, baby. I think he will be leaving. Although we say this at the end of every Adam Cole match where he's leaving, but he always come back and say, I'm back. I'm just like, maybe this is the time he actually leaves. And I believe he's going to lose at the Bash in this sanctioned match. And, yeah, this should be the end. Well, and then we get it on the main roster whenever Kyle O'Reilly comes up, and it's never ending like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
It just won't. And Marcus, something that did end, Mercedes Martinez got knocked the fuck out. Marcus, when you saw it, because I had spoiled this for you because I thought you had already watched NXT. Marcus, was the knockout as vicious as you thought? Because when she fell, man. And then you know how I knew she was knocked out, Marcus? Because anytime somebody get knocked out and they're trying to get up, they have no idea what the hell is going on. And she was trying to get up.
When it happened after you spoiled it for me, and she was knocked out, I went, yep, there it is. Oh, she fucked up. She got fucked up. She ain't got no chin, huh? But, yeah, she's down. I hope she's okay. But that was a nasty kick with a nasty fall with a nasty ending to it. They played it off well because Mercedes was not going to have her shoulders on those mats. I don't care if she is unconscious, but they should declare that she was knocked the fuck out, and that should be the end of their feud.
That should be the end. That should be the end.
You can't come back from that. No. You can't come back. What you gonna say? What you gonna say? She didn't cheat. She didn't cheat to do anything. She just knocked you the fuck out with her kick.
So
what you gonna say? I can't say shit to her no more. What did you think about her?
Mic'd Up Sports, it says, what up, boys? Now I know why I didn't have any viewers. I went on with you guys head to head. Trust me, it's not us that did anything like that. It's just, it's soccer going on right now.
Euro's going on, man.
Everybody looking at soccer. But Marcus, let me talk about the moment that I realized that you might have been right. And I don't like to say when you're right, but Marcus, I know you've had a hard week with the Clippers not being able to succeed what they were trying to succeed with. So, Marcus, I'm going to give you some satisfaction right now. I'm going to give you some satisfaction. You were right about MSK, Marcus. You know what? They're okay, but when they were in the ring with Thatcher and Ciampa, I ain't never want to see two kids get their ass beat so much and lose their title. Marcus, I don't think I need MSK as my champions anymore.
Well, I see them retaining, and I don't know how yet. Manny has a turn happening, but they're going to retain. And when he slapped Thatcher no-sold the slap and decided not to attack him and then kiss him on the cheek and tell him, y'all go die or whatever he said, I was like, they deserve it. They deserve to die. Because those are two grown-ass men in that ring. They're about to fight. That is your daddy and that is your uncle, and they about to beat your ass. That's all I had to say about that.
All right, then we shall move on to the battery, Marcus, is almost filled. What are we going to get?
Well, we said it's either going to be Tegan Knox or Ridge Holland. That's my theory.
Who would you prefer for it to be, Marcus?
Or Aleister Black. and said, yes, I was fired for going too far in attacking Big E in that Intercontinental title match, a match that important, but I don't give a damn because I wouldn't trade my proper respect.
I would also say I wouldn't mind it being Aleister Black. But the last thing, Marcus, I think the worst kept secret when we saw that this match was announced, it was Swerve Scott going against Bronson Reed for the NXT North American Championship. I think at this point, we all knew Bronson Reed was losing his title, Marcus. Once the rumors started going on that Vince had his eye on Bronson Reed and he was going to be his new Keith Lee, Marcus, we knew Swerve was going to get that. Are you okay with Swerve getting the title this way when you know he probably didn't deserve it?
I was okay with it, and I'm happy for Hit Row and the success that they got and everything that happened in this match. It was a good match. Not match of the week. There were 2 big matches that I thought were better than this one, but it was really good. And I was happy. I was still happy for Hit Row and Swerve. Bronson Reed was so good on main event. Him and carry across for Vince. Made Vince say, Vince, Hunter, what y'all doing down there? I'm going to have to take a visit to see what y'all got. Y'all hiding big, thick boys like this one out there.
I mean, you
gotta have to get the title off of this one. Both of them.
Hey, Marcus, I'm up here wasting my time with a shaved Otis, and you got this Colossus down there? What the hell y'all doing to me? You mean, I might have to start watching NXT a little bit more.
And by a little bit more, I may tune in every Tuesday.
What
day come on again? What day does it come on again? Is it on the WWE network? That's what I want to know. Is this on the WWE network? Yes, Vince. You own this. Oh, shit. Then why don't I have Bronson Reed on Monday Night Raw? Y'all keep hiding these big boys from me, man. I swear to God, I'm going to kick somebody's ass.
I'm going to kick somebody's ass.
That's why I imagine the performance center business going like, why aren't we using this person? Like, he'll just look at some random person and be like, why aren't we using... Vince, that's a janitor. That's the janitor. He just cleans up. Why aren't we using him?
Marcus, but I think Mic'd Up Sports is right. Bronson Reed would be in catering 4 weeks after his debut, Marcus. Come on, man. We all know what's going to happen. As we said earlier...
I don't know.
As we said earlier, the most successful NXT call-up that is male so far has been Matt Riddle. And it was points where we thought Matt Riddle was going to be released, Marcus. I just don't know what...
I never thought Matt Riddle was getting released.
I did.
That was only you. You're the only one who thought Matt Riddle wouldn't make it.
And Marcus, and when have I ever cared about anybody else's opinion of what was going to happen but my own?
I think that Bronson Reed will succeed where Keith Lee failed for Vince. I think he might be a better promo.
But Mark, I have to ask you this question also because I forgot this did take place on SmackDown. Next week, we're getting Cesaro versus Seth Rollins, and the person gets into Money in the Bank. Marcus, who do you have winning, and is it the person that you want to win that's going to win?
I believe Cesaro is going to win and enters the Money in the Bank match, and I think this is going to fuel Seth Rollins' hatred toward that WWE title because he said he should be number 1 contender. And that's what's gonna promote him to fight the rumored Edge at SummerSlam, in which he cost his Edge that match against the big dog.
Well, Marcus, I would like Seth Rollins to win the Money in the Bank because I would love him to have that to loom over the big dog head. Because at the end of the day, that's the match I think we kind of want to see. Unless Jon Moxley becomes available and he doesn't like the way that the ego that Roman has become and he's been brought back to take care of that.
Jon Moxley is never coming back.
Marcus, he never ruled out that he would come back because he said money can talk. He got a baby now, man. He got to feed them mouths. And, when you have baby Liberty.
He's on the road with WWE. He ain't trying to fuck with that.
When you got baby Liberty in AEW, ain't got no room.
He's happy where he's at. He is never coming back. Dean Ambrose is dead until he enters the WWE Hall of Fame as the Shield, where Roman gets his 2-time ring.
So, Marcus, as you know, that with Bronson Reed losing this title, it did derail a feud that I thought was taking place because no, I take that back. No, wasn't Santos Escobar had his eyes on the North American title at one point? So now
he got smashed to the wall. He never lost that match, so I believe it's Legardo and Hit Row maybe.
So Marcus, we're gonna have black and brown relations being bad right now. Is that what we're gonna
tear it up?
But Marcus,
tear it up.
Can I give a shout out to one person in Hit Row that is doing their job too much, and it's making me hate them and make me want to beat them up so much because I'm just annoyed by that person. And Marcus, I don't even have to say a name. You know who I'm talking about.
Talking about Shanti D'Adonis.
You got that right, I am, Marcus. I want to kick his ass. He annoys me. But in every crew, Marcus, in every crew, there is that one, and I almost said the N-word right there, that gets on your nerves that says...
I said it. I said it on the show.
But Marcus, I got a little bit more class and dignity than you because I am wearing the brand shirt. But okay. I mean, overall, I thought this week in professional wrestling was a very entertaining week. I thought it was a great way to end out the pandemic era of professional wrestling. I mean, true, we might be out of the pandemic era for 4 or 5 months before it flares back up. Who knows? But
the variant
is out there. But like I said, I thought it was a good way. I thought almost all shows were watchable and some were more enjoyable than others. But I felt good leaving it. Marcus, is there anything that you want to leave the listeners with before we close out this show?
I want to say bless you all. I want to say I hope you all have an amazing holiday. Stay sober. Don't drink and drive. The 4th of July is a sham anyway. But, shoot your fireworks illegally or legal.
So
what
Marcus,
you gotta do.
I don't know.
Fuck the Olympics. And fuck the Olympics. It was just a little weed.
Right, you can't be mad. It's in the rules, Marcus.
Let them run the track.
It's in the rules, Marcus. It's in the rules. But Marcus,
the Colombo bar. If it wasn't crack, let them run the track.
Marcus, I told everybody, I was like, you know what? This might be the last year black people celebrate the 4th of July. Marcus, they done fucked up because I have a feeling that everything that black people did on the 4th of July is gonna be done on Juneteenth, Marcus. Just imagine the celebration.
Nah, you ain't stopping nobody from doing no barbecue.
That is also true.
You ain't stopping no barbecue.
You gotta go show up and
illegal fireworks. Come on, man.
You gotta show up and get some stuff. But anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Remember, we didn't get any emails today. And Marcus, I know your lungs are bad, but I apologize, Marcus. I have to do this.
My lungs?
If you please email us at thesharpshooters@gmail.com. I mean, that dust is there. I'm sorry, Marcus. I didn't want to do that to you, but I'm sorry. It's just you and I. It's just you and I. It done froze Marcus up. That's how bad it was.
Making me cry.
Also, you can also...
Is there garlic or onion in that smoke?
Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for whenever we release something new on the channel. We really appreciate all the support and love that we've received over the last couple of weeks and months. We really appreciate everybody that's riding with us. We love you all. Thank you so much. With that being said,
hallelujah.
I am Eric.
And I am Marcus, the grand finale. And for my drunk colleague, Prince Manish, Lord Betty Hayes, have a good night. Let's go, England.
Let's go, England. And remember, don't let this happen to anybody else. We're out. Peace.
Meet Marcus. You may know him from the Untitled Manny and Marcus Show and the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. You may know he spent the majority of last summer living in his car, and now he's lost all his money in Vegas. Help Marcus by donating to the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast or going to storefrontier.com/DSPN and buying some of our merch. Help today before it's too late.